Through the Golden Door, the doorway to our advancement. A book about my spiritual journey, a treasure that has something for everyone.
This was actually years ago when she had her company space in Raffles Place, and I was doing business over there, and I got to have a chat with her while I was working in Raffles Place. So through all of those years, we actually kept in touch, and until LinkedIn told me that she wrote a book, and here we are.
It was at a Kampong Singan event, which I was introduced to Tahira. Okay, she showed us the book, the title of the book, and the book cover attracted me instantly. So I was attracted to it, so I bought the book, and I read it during my plane flight to Yangon.
The book came into my life through the author, Tahira, because her mum and I are friends, and we are involved in a women's NGO together. So Tahira, when she was working on this book, came to talk to my mother and I about it and to get some material that she was working into it.
I first went to Up Game for the personal development, Up Your Game. It was invited by Sunil, our hiking buddies. So we went, I met one of the speakers, he's in the book, Through the Golden Door, Tahira. It was very interesting. And that's where the journey began with her books.
When I was reading some chapters on it, certain chapters, certain themes, certain ideas, concept, it resonated. It was like a mirror of the journey that I've went through my life. So I was deeply touched, and I dropped an email after that.
For those of you who don't live in Singapore, it's an incredibly busy place, and we can quickly lose focus sometimes just through the sheer busyness of the life. So what this book personally did for me was to serve as a reminder to stay focused and get back on the path of being of benefit to people and service, and to do things through love. So that's how the book was a benefit to me.
I love books that open up new horizons for me, or make me feel like I'm touching something that's a universal truth, or something that's a truth for my soul. So Through the Golden Door, for me, it's like one of those books. I would put it on par with books by Paulo Coelho, whom I love. I will put it on par with books like Neil Donald Walsh's Conversations with God. You know, things which you read bits of it, you may not understand everything at one go, but when you come back, or if you randomly open up some part of the book, you'll find something that makes sense, or something that speaks to whatever situation you're going through right at that time. So I see it as divinely inspired.
I have been through a lot of journey myself. I've been go through all the challenges, the adversities in life, and read all the books, spiritual books, and listened to all the gurus in spirituality. But Tahira one is very unique because this author of Through the Golden Doors present the books in a different ways from the books that I've read. Coming from Tahira, the author backgrounds, Tahira backgrounds as a business person, futuristic, and more on the mathematical side of brain, that which I don't have that in me, and my intelligence, so it's balanced myself. And the most I can see, I have 50% to go back to work. When I found out this book and I read through and I met her, Tahira personally, the author, makes me more confident of chasing my dream. Not chasing my dream, but heading toward my golden roads. I say, why do I have to work? In 2010, when something happens with one of my children, I decided to be a homemaker, to make my own income in ways that I don't have to follow the time and schedule.
Too many favorites. So what I did once, I was going through a lot of stress and a lot of challenges at some point in April of 2016. So I decided I would just randomly open up the book and see what page opened up, what paragraph or what line caught my eye. And I took note of which lines caught my eye, and then I found I had extra messages coming to me because I meditate. I like tuning into my intuitive and higher dimensional side. Mm-hmm. So I found one line would then open up other messages that I was getting straight for me, rather than having to read an entire thing. It was like a quick, flip a page open, find something, and then something sparks from there. And I randomly opened up the book and I asked my angels to guide me to a quote for the day. So sometimes I would do a quote for the day and just something to guide and inspire me for the day. And this was a line that was at the end of chapter 6, which talks about, reaching zero point is the title of chapter 6. So the line is, mindful of the vast galaxy within, I wanted to say to her, if you only knew that there are far greater things than this, that there are far greater plans. Mm. And the message for me that came when I read that was, the universe has far greater plans for me than I'm currently aware of. Go with the flow, don't sweat the small stuff.
There are many chapters on it. Okay, almost every chapter is my favorite, but I quite like the one on the golden ratio and the max Tahira.
This is a very tough one. The book has so much in it, but one of the things that I personally liked was actually from page 286, where Tahira spells out her daily routine, and a couple of things that popped out for me was speaking words of prayer into the water we drink, and walking barefoot on earth several minutes a day, as well as deep breathing and increasing the amount of raw fruits and vegetables in my diet. So this is my takeaway from the book that I could immediately implement.
The first speech, the epigraph. A woman is the glory of a man. Heaven on earth is the glory of mankind. See, the goosebumps. Every time I read these quotes, I have the goosebumps. But I want to share another phrase that I also love. It's really impacted me, which is in chapter 2. Bear with me, I have to open the page and I can't remember all because there's so many good quotes inside this book. To simply be. To simply be in the moment, in the midst of noise, trouble in hard work, to be calm in the heart, meditating in God's name, invisible revelations start to come in, like trickling downloads, with one complete download and then another. Opening up a new belief system, firing up a new intention as we prepare ourselves for the new world, the new me. Singer, just go. Okay.
Again, another tough question. Two come to my mind right away. Chapter 5 that really opened my eyes from a different perspective. Everyone is a healer. So I've heard it before, but in the way that it was presented by Tahira, that was pretty amazing. But the one that really brought it home for me was chapter 8, No Fear, No Anger. And it's so easy on a day-to-day basis to lose track of the very low frequency emotions of fear and anger. But this one made it alive to me to consciously keep a focus on what is going through my mind and what I'm feeling, and to focus on the high frequency emotions of love, of compassion, and things like that.
Every chapter, until the 20th chapter, is applicable to my personal life. I just take, for example, the chapter 7, the Mystic Adriana, I call her Mystic Adriana, where she can just convert herself and just go into the heaven. Wow, it's amazing. I would love to endure to the journey, evolve like her one day, definitely. Okay, and then Farail, chapter 8, the home decor, how she overcome her life challenges, adversities, using her things that she loves to do, which is her passion in home decor. So every single things that she touched, from the moment she do her housework, she decorate her house, is spiritually involved.
The Golden Dawn, yes, it formed part of my life. During my journey, certain doors are shut down, but at the same time, certain doors are open, and one door leads to another door.
At first glance, the title is quite esoteric, and for my personality, it's immediately attractive because I'm interested in anything that sounds esoteric in nature. But what it means to me personally is that we all have a point in our lives where we cross over to become a higher and better version of ourselves and to always be the best that we can be. And that point is the golden door, and when we open and walk through it, then we access that higher level of who we can be.
I feel through the golden door, as the title talks about our own inner awakening. So everyone has a different journey, a different path that leads to that inner awakening. And going through that golden door doesn't mean suddenly you've hit the jackpot and you've won the $1 million behind the hidden door. It's about through the golden door, there are many other doors, but you're going through each level, and as you go through each level, then you keep on advancing further and further on your own journey. And there is no right or wrong way, there is no right or wrong door. Mm-hmm. It's just you find the door that suits you for that point of time.
Yes, I do have a personal golden door. It was always opening to me. And once I opened that door, it led to several other doors in front of me. And my journey carried on and on.
I feel like I'm still evolving through my personal golden door. There have been points where that evolution has been very slow. There are points where it's been very fast. But if I look at where I've come in my journey, where I am now is further along than where I was perhaps 5 or 10 years ago, but I wouldn't say it means I'm better now than I was then. It's just an evolution. It's like a spiral. You continually, or going through a maze, you're continually circling in to the center point, but not quite at that center point yet. So as you come closer, then something expands further.
I would say she has the air of the royalty. She has a very deep insight into spirituality, at the same time down to earth, because she's more of an engineer trained. She's able to integrate between science and spirituality together, a rare find today.
There's so much about Tahira, but immediately compassionate, articulate, elegant, and a visionary. These are the 4 things that straight away popped in my mind to describe her.
I think anyone who is looking to understand why they are in the universe or why they are in the world right now, and to get a sense from one, like a scientific perspective of why they are in this life right now, but also from a sense of awe and amazement at how the divine and the universe works, wanting to see then what's next for them. So people who are seekers of truth, who are seekers of dreams, of their own path in the world, would benefit from reading The Golden Door.
I would say to almost everyone in the planet Earth, you should take a look at the chapters because it really can give you the answer to some of the questions you have in your life.
The people that would have a desire to become better, to understand themselves deeper, to become more compassionate people, I think these would derive the most immediate benefit from the book. But that said, the book is really well written and it's easy to read, so anyone could actually read it and they'll get a better understanding of who they are.
As a child from the broken marriage, I find education is very, very important. And I found this book is good because we have so many books in the market. Everybody is talking about spiritual, but special about this author and her book is she, Tahira, the author, provide a action plan behind. Where I found it is very aligned with the school that I'm gonna have soon. Okay, that I have planned. Oh, that's the golden, my golden doors. Here, let's see. A personal golden door action plan. Okay, this is awesome. I can use this for the school. Best suit for adults, teenage 13 years above, because the education system that we have now, I'm not saying that it is wrong, it's just that we can do it in a better way, where instead of memorizing, why not we teach the children, our next generation, to think, okay? And not just to think, to learn how to love themselves, how to manage relationship, how to be wise and to be a good parent, handling money. Financial is very important, you know, not just focus on spiritual but forget about the financial part, and to be healthy. This book is complete. Honestly, this book is complete because each of the character that in this book that the author came across along her spiritual journey is teaching all these components: health, financial, love, how to handle relationship, and how to think and to achieve your golden doors.
It's not a book that you can read in one sitting. It's a book that you're meant to kind of come back to and let it sit as you read and let yourself absorb the information. You don't have to believe everything. You don't have to blindly follow anything. But it's just about opening your consciousness up. And the book works its own magic.
Read the book at night when it's quiet and you're all by yourself. Think about it, don't rush through it. Relax yourself, have a cup of tea, read it words by words, chapter by chapter.
Get a copy of the book, read it, reread it, and every time you read it, I think you're going to get a new insight into living better, doing better, becoming a better human being. And it's going to definitely shine a light on the path that you should take and give you new ideas.
But I can share with you how I can read this book. Because this book you can't read fast, okay? You have to read one chapter, not once, 3 times at least. That's the minimum, not maximum, you know. It's minimum. The more you read, the more it will open up the ideas that the author would like to share with you. Let me tell you, it makes me like curious if what's actually happens before, you know, why she said like this. So it encouraged me go. And then when I reached chapter 15, I said, okay, that's it. I'm going to read from the beginning because you need to link. You have to start from the beginning. But if you find trouble in finding passion in reading books as thick as this through the golden doors, please find ways to make it interesting because you're not going to miss this. If you miss this, well, you will not understand why I'm smiling now.
Find your own golden door. So it's nice to read about someone else's golden door and how they went through their journey. Mm-hmm. That's something that I really appreciate from knowing Tahira as a person and as a regular person, but also knowing her as an author who has been guided to produce this book or who has gone through challenges to result in this thick book. But there's this other side of you can be in awe of it or you can choose to be inspired by it and find your own pathways. Many things. So I would love to see this book. One, where Tahira is reading it and maybe sharing some of her insights into different chapters. Something which is like YouTube videos where there may be 15 or 20 minutes that people could play in the mornings before they go start their day, and it gives them some inspiration and energy for the day, or at the end of the day when they want to have something to reflect on before they wind down completely and go to sleep. It's something that helps to put what they've gone through in that day in perspective. So short little vignettes, videos, or even like inspirational messages that are taken from the book. Mm-hmm. I'd love to see this on radio because I know in Malaysia here we have 9 o'clock in the morning. It's like there will be certain radio stations that play like these 5-minute readings from an inspirational author, and there'll be a reflection piece around a quote from the book of some author. And I think this book is perfect for that. I would also love to see this as a film. So this is like The Secret, but it more in depth, more scientific, looking at more things about the universe. The Secret was more about manifestation. This is more about illumination and your own personal journey of discovery and development.
This book literally opens up and renews the minds of readers, thus transforming their lives. After all, words and ideas do change the world. My vision? That millions of people should read this book, from all backgrounds. May they all discover their personal golden door.